it's so fun. It really is. Like one of the rare like Jimmy Page songs that are fun to play. Now, you could do it two different ways. I don't even remember how to play this weird ending. Like, he just busted out into like a fucking, some kind of like, it's like some old school, like, New Orleans blues jazz kind of thing. You can play it, but from what I understand, he got like a finger or hand injury somewhere, in the 70s, around the time this was still either relatively recent or they still part of their main playlist. And it's kind of, I think he does it like a little turnaround walk down in between it. It's just a double stop. But it's like right there. It's just, the two middle strings. I'm not sure exactly if he does that. I've just kind of got muscle memory to do that now. And for some reason, it's like I'm listening to it. He doesn't do the drag off. But some of it's like the timing of it. It's really difficult. For some reason, he has this really strange, like odd. It doesn't, when you try to play, it doesn't naturally sync right for some reason. I guess in anybody else, but Jimmy Page's brain, and like Black Dog. I actually did learn the intro for it, and I almost got to where I could almost play it mostly correct, and now I can't remember exactly how it goes, and so I haven't really learned that many even though I'm a huge fan. It's kind of one of those things, like some things you just don't try because it's like he even though he's still usually like in the top 10 greatest guitar players of all time. I mean, Led Zeppelin was probably the biggest rock band in the fucking world in the 1970s, and probably if there's anyone, I guess he'd give them a run for their money as far as actually, I bet they got the Stones beat pretty well, I'll be honest. But Led Zeppelin, but then AC/DC, they were really huge too. Dang, our shit's actually quite easy to play. It's like but you gotta be careful because they'll block your video if they could hear it too much. It's just a fucking chorus. Almost everything they do is like. Actually, they don't play. They play it the hard way. They're like. I'm surprised they don't do it the way I do it, because they got to play that little C, but it's just a little C, you know, minor. Besides, they do a lot of that. They just take absolute, you know, advantage of that little G and C, you know, note turnaround, and kind of like to kind of use it as a stop between chords, you know. I didn't know they play. I didn't even know. I thought they played it that way. I assumed, because that's what it is. It's an A, and then a C, and then a D. I could keep the timing a lot better that way. I just try to make sure I hit that note real good, you know. You almost, I mean, I almost can't tell the difference. The only difference is that you have all that. Because like, you know, the whole scraping of the, you know, the wound strings, and if you don't have to move up or down. Now, if they block it and say that, you know, you can't play, you know, what is it, Rosie? A whole lot of Rosie. You can't play a whole lot of Rosie on YouTube. It's kind of like, see? I'm just saying. But, you know, the best advice I give anyone who's learning how to play guitar is study Malcolm Young of AC/DC. Here's the thing. I think this is a bad motherfucker too, especially for a dude who's like only like 5'2", you know, or something like that. And like, you know, and he's like fucking 80 or something now. He looks really old. Oh my God, it's sad. He still gets out there fucking. I mean, he tries to rock. I'm not sure he's rocking as good as he was a long time ago, but you know, he used to dance on top of fucking double stacks, man. I mean, when you're little like that, you can throw yourself around, you know, on stage like that, you know, causing too many. You know, he's pretty agile, I guess. But you know, Malcolm Young is like the greatest fucking tool to learn how to play. And I can't play any AC/DC because they'll just fucking completely block it. It won't let me. It's funny. I made this video. You know, my Gen Xers woke since the '80s video where I was like showing off all this. Like, look how much shit where it was. It was like all these people who were openly this or openly that, and then there's these, you know, award-winning movies that, you know, were of, you know, dudes that, you know, actually weren't dudes, but we still would have said, yeah, he's a dude. But you know, we can't say that. Hey, he's a dude. It's like, that's a lady. It's like, you know, but you know, I'm just saying. And there was one fucking song that blocked it. The entire video. I spent, you know, it's an hour-long video, and I spent probably a good 3, 4, 5 hours putting it together. And because I got a new editing software, I got that Power Director now. Because I've been using Clipchamp for like almost a year, and I had tried the free version of it, you know, with the, you know, the watermark on it, and I tried Filmora, and it's like, I actually like Filmora. It's a slightly cheaper, and it's a little easier, but actually Power Directors kind of updated their interface a little bit, and it's very precise. Like Clipchamp is like just vague, you know, like vague where you can cut or splice or whatever. Plus I got a widescreen now, you know, I got an ultra wide, you know, 34, so I can actually make use of, you know, a timeline, and it was a delight. And have some fun. Cruising high. because she was like a gay club icon, because she was like a famous, club dancer or something in New York in the gay district. Like, you almost would want to say, like, wasn't she like was she a or transvestite, or was she a cross, or because she don't really like a drag queen, and it's like, no, I actually believe that she is just a straight woman, but that's just she got into that, she became kind of like got her off the ground. But they blocked us all out. That one fucking song. And here's the thing, it wasn't even that one song. It was like 17 seconds of it. So I was fucking pissed, like, motherfucker. They edited it out relatively quick. I will say this: that Power Director is actually worth it's like $60. It works really good. I mean, I'm not fucking with Adobe, and I'm not fucking with. I try to use DaVinci Resolve, and I felt like I was trying to figure out what all these fucking buttons mean. Like, that fucking hieroglyphics on that shit. What the fuck? Everything they do is just. They really play like a full chord either. And I really don't play much the Angus parts, because he just kind of like matches them, or he might play the same chord, like, instead of playing he might do like a power version. Actually, they're basically the same. Or I need to do the installation on this one, I think. Probably what I did is I probably put the fucking bridge on backwards when I restrung it recently. But actually, I went down a size too, from a 9 to an 8, but Les Pauls is one of the easiest ones to learn how to play on too. As long as you get one that the neck feels good. A lot of them have real thick. This is one I built. This is one it was a decent guitar kit. I mean, they make ones that are actually a lot better than this, like a lot fancier. But it's an Okome, which is like an Asian mahogany species, and it's got no poly. It's just all it's got on it is like. It's got a base of like the yellow tinted, or the amber tinted shellac was the base coat, I think. Yeah, and then I put some Danish oil on top of it to help fill in the rest. And I was just kind of like to color it and to give it like an initial, kind of like, so it could soak in some. Because I actually wanted something that would soak in a little bit. And then when I put Danish oil in there, because that stuff will go right, it'll really suck that Danish oil down in. But the shellac's a little thicker, so it seems to, level off easier. But it's not that durable. It's sugar. That's all it is. It's sugar from the butt of an insect. Okay, seriously. That's what they used to make records out of back in the day too. It's like the original plastics. I want to say they got ones that's one of the old Bon Scott songs, like or is it? No. It's like it's some sort of 12 bar, you know, it's something, especially the earlier stuff, or it's like it's just like everything's a cheater too. It's like a cheater E. It's easy to play a full G if you want to. I mean, it really is. So, you know, and then to me, a D's easy. Like I don't really worry if I get that open string. And don't use 3 fingers to make a fucking A chord, an A minor chord. Don't. Learn how to do it the right way. And that's the thing, some nut job will tell you, no, that's the right way. That's what Mel Bay said to do. It's like, Mel Bay don't have to switch between chords that quickly. I mean, if you can make an A chord that quickly coming from a G or a D or a C or something like that, hey, more power to you. Your fucking hands are going to be destroyed before you know you're middle age, so. That's how they play it, though. It's like me trying to do the black keys or something. The white keys? No, you can't do white keys. You gotta do black keys. Yeah. There's white stripes and the black keys. I'm not sure which chords it is, but it's in there. Gold on the ceiling. It could be. Something, you know. I was like, sometimes I think stuff is just like, you know, just your basic cheater open chords, you know, what I guess you would call the cowboy chords, and it turns out it's like some sort of mixture of some, you know, bar chords or some sort of weird, you know, other like seventh chords or whatever. It's like most rock and roll stuff, just a straight up rock and roll can be played usually, you know. But yeah, the only thing I don't really like to play is I don't like to play a real C. First off, to play an open C major is difficult because it's also kind of hard to keep your strings properly, fully tuned and intonated. So if it calls for a C chord, I'm going to cheat, and it's like a real C chord, I'm going to... I'm just going for that C minor. Like a power C minor, like a history string. Led Zeppelin's difficult, though. It really is. It's like, you know, the only other thing I really, you know, play like unless I'm just like improvising over something. It's just like a, you know, like a straight up blues, you know, thing like. I can die easy. And that's just in standard E. when he recorded it, that's the thing is, I figured that out. It's like, why is it when I play it, it doesn't sound right when I listen to it on, the original recording? And it's like, well, I kind of figured it out, and that's because he doesn't fucking play it that way anymore. He played it one time in A. It's in A. Open A. That's why I'm like, go. I can die easy. They'll usually put a copyright on there for using Zeppelin, but they don't usually block it. So, at least they didn't in the past. It seems like as these, legendary, like just these freaks of nature, like we sold like 3 billion of those records, man. It's like those dudes, used to be real tight about online use. They seem to be loosening up. They'll at least put their shit on YouTube for free, and they'll usually let you have it in a video. They just will collect copyright on it, which is fair. I mean, I guess if I was doing tutorials or something, I would prefer it to be, I'd make money off of that, Although you wouldn't really have to use their stuff, but it's what gets people to watch your videos. I don't do it for the money. I do it for the thrill. Let's see. Damn, I don't have one, do I? I don't. Shit. Let's see if a live one's down here. Because that one's in A. Here we go. This one should be in G. It's in G. It's in G now. He's a really good fucking slide player too. I can't see. I can't see because of the glasses. It's like I'm looking down at such an aggressive angle, and it's like unless I'm like it's kind of hard to look up and down and then not run into shit. And now I do fuck up even when I have every bit of room and but I and he does that in between certain measures like. It shows, if you look at the tablature, it'll say that he does all three, but I don't think he does. It sounds better anyway. It's easy to play slide and standard tuning if you just working with G. Just play the standard, just a standard, pattern, You just play these 3 strings. Oh, that's probably why it doesn't sound right with the. because it's he plays it. I think he plays it in open G on that. Yeah, I think the Dan Lecter is always in open G. The story that I'd heard was that he did that because when he recorded it, I guess there is an original version. It's like an old they call it like Negro spiritual, like people who work on a, that's what you used to call them. But I guess African American spirituals, but that really it's not the same. It's like the African American leagues. It's like no, they were called the Negro leagues. I mean, I'm not saying that's nice. That wasn't exactly as bad back then, or I don't know, maybe it was. I wasn't around then, but they still got the United N-word College Fund. So, and you can still go buy N-word paint over it, and caulk over at Home Depot and shit. They got caulk segregated at fucking Lowe's and Home Depot. They got one that says white, and they got another one that says Negro. And it's like, holy shit, you can't even have the white caulk? Damn. That's harsh. I thought they stopped doing that like in the 60s. Shit. It's written in Spanish for some fucking reason. I don't know. And because that's the thing, people think when they hear Spanish people and they go negro, and then they think he says racial slur. It's like no, that's just the way they say black, and we kind of borrowed that from them, to be extra. We had racism extra. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like this guy, and it's like my buddy's nephew, Ronnie, who kind of was like my nephew in a way as well, but I was like the weird uncle, that he was always kind of like this passive aggressive, we were always picking on each other. And one of his buddies, Philip, he was learning this song. He actually taught me the basic part of it, and I wanted to learn it again, so I don't remember whether I got tab or looked at a video, and because he was saying, you don't have to tune it to open G, man. You can, or A, you could just play it in standard and just use those. It's like, cool. It's just like right there. It's kind of hard. It's angled. And I never thought to learn to do the string muting, so it can't. If I try, I'm trying to keep my the edge of my palm like right up on that bridge. That's why I prefer Tune-O-Matic for this. I can't balance it properly if I don't put my fingers on it like that. You see, you're supposed to actually do it the other way, or at least you're supposed to like put it where you're playing it. Plus, you're not supposed to use your middle finger, but I never could really get good at using the. I guess I can though. I just got so used to using and somehow or another I rest my hand right on that bridge just perfectly, so that if I'm trying to like if I'm not having to focus on this and then keep it in the shot, and but I don't like playing slides sitting down, really, to be honest. And it's really the whole thing. The only third string I'm using is that. It's like Warren Haynes says that, yeah, you got to turn it out at E standard as long as you're playing it on G. You know, it's like all you need is them 3 strings right there. Warren Haynes is a fucking man too. Yeah, he was the first official slide player in the Allman Brothers band after Dwayne died, and then Derek took over, and it was funny because Warren Haynes took over Dickie Betts' spot when he got fired because he was like, well, shit, the kid's better at sliding. I mean, yeah, Bush Trucks is, Derek Trucks, is absolutely, unbelievably amazing. Probably, he may go down as being considered the greatest slide player of all time, I think, really. Like, has he surpassed Dwayne? Dwayne would say yes, he did. But yeah. So if you want to know how to play, your grandpa's redneck rock, that's how you do it. And, say hi to your mom and them for me. Love you, bye. And don't forget, do not freebase cocaine.
Say that today I do not freebase cocaine.